18 male victims of sexual abuse. According to Reddit. Number 18. Trying to impress an older girl in a school, so I went to a party that she was also going to. I drank, smoked weed, and did coke for the first time. She was super into me out of nowhere, and we talked. She was 5 years older than me, and I was new to the whole liking girls thing altogether. She talked to me for a bit, and then she kissed me, and I got nervous and started to realize that I was not ready for this, so I started trying to leave. She kept saying, "No, stay, we can have fun," and eventually dragged me into a bedroom and got naked before pulling all my clothes off. I was really scared and didn't want to. Tried to stop her, but she said, "Oh, are you gay? I mean, I'll let all the girls know if you are." Oh, red flag. Oh my god. Being a kid with insecurity issues, already that scared me even more, so I got naked and started to move my hands around her. She pushed me on the bed and started touching me. I froze up. I did not want to be there. I was not ready, but I didn't want to tell her, or her to tell everybody, that I was gay. Social life means a lot to a kid who doesn't understand themselves yet. I don't remember all that much. It felt good, but it made my heart sink into my stomach, and I kept closing my eyes like it wasn't happening. I tried to stop her again, and she said she would tell everybody I had a small dick, and I was gay. Jesus Christ. Or that I looked weird naked. Just a bunch of shit. Oh my god. On top of that, I was so uncomfortable with it, I lasted a long time. I felt like it wouldn't end. She also kept scratching me and biting me to the point of breaking my skin. The whole thing was fucked. After that, she told everyone she knew that I was good in bed and lasted a long time, which would have been great if it hadn't meant that I was consistently reminded that I was so weak that I couldn't stop a girl. One of her quotes she told me after to keep me from telling anyone how it really happened. Oh my god. Oh my lord. I didn't have sex for 5 years after that, because it made me so angry and nervous. I started drinking whenever I could. I drank often. I started doing drugs. Luckily, I met a girl in my senior year of high school who, after I drunkenly told her what happened, helped me get to a therapist. We dated for a bit after that, and I have been better, but it's still a pain in the back of my mind sometimes. Well, ain't that a bitch? I'm sorry that this has to happen to people, man. Some girls are extremely abusive, my man. Like, holy shit. They have got that abuse thing down and locked, baby. That's that next level abuse. Abuse level 2. Okay, here we go. Number 17. A friend had just experienced a sudden, horrible loss while waiting for a drive from the ferry. Okay. Instead of going back to school, she decided to go back home on the next ferry. I was worried about how she was taking the loss, if it was her friend coming to pick her up who had died in a car accident. Ugh. Asked to be put on a ferry with her so she wouldn't have to do the 10+ hour overnight ferry ride alone. I was falling asleep on the couch in the stateroom, and the ferry company had given us for the trip, and she asked me to get in bed and hold her. So I did. She rolled over and started kissing me, telling me she was really sad. I should have been more definitive in my saying no, but I was pretty shell-shocked by the entire situation and just wanted her to remain calm after what had just happened. She eventually put her hands down my pants, got me to take them off, and got on top of me. Damn, she wanted some grief fucking. I mean, it's kind of hot, but the situation isn't hot. It's pretty scary, you know? It's a scary situation. After about a minute and talking while it was happening, I convinced her to stop. After we both fell asleep in the bed, the night passed uneventfully. In the months that followed, I'd see her from time to time in the small town that we both lived in, and everything seemed fine. I found it hard to be around her / interact with her, as it brought back a lot of emotion for me related to the day, her friend's death, getting her home, etc. Fast forward about 7 months and I was back to town visiting, as I had moved from work in the interim, or I had moved for work in the interim. I was getting a lot of weird reactions from people I knew in town. Somewhere along the line, she decided that I sexually assaulted her and had told quite a few mutual friends. My God. We can't go a single list without a girl lying to everybody about being raped. How do they do it? How do they do it? I lost a couple of very close friends because of this, and during the couple of years with the rise of the Me Too movement, it's been difficult to watch news coverage, see people's news feeds on Facebook, etc. without remembering how quickly people took her word for what happened and never gave, number 1, me the benefit of the doubt, or 2, had any interest in hearing my side of the story. You live and you learn, you guess. Yeah, boy. I think that's the scariest part, is that some people aren't even interested in hearing anymore. And the worst part is people have died because people just hear something like, oh, he raped me, go beat him up, and they go kill him. And then the girl was lying the whole time. You know, where's the justice for that person and their family? There can be no justice. Justice League. As we continue up to number 16. When I had just graduated high school, we went on a trip called Beach Week. Essentially, everybody goes out, gets drunk, has fun for a week. I was a virgin and had never done any serious shit with a girl by any means. One day, during Beach Week, however, I got blackout drunk and ended up having sex with a girl who was completely sober. I didn't even know what I had done until after I heard stories in the morning and later found videos on my phone that I had apparently taken. The worst part about the videos was the entire time I was begging her to stop, and it honestly sounded like I was crying. Jesus Christ. I don't mention that to anyone though. Every time I tell the story to people, I pretend like it's a cool story where I was so glad it happened and it was an awesome day and an awesome way to lose my virginity, but it's a blatant lie. It's always torn me apart because I know that I was raped. My first time was something that I wanted to be special, and I genuinely cared about how I was going to lose it, but instead, I was taken advantage of by a girl who had no right to do so. It always messes me up, and it's always been something that's caused me a lot of pain and issues. Me and my long-term girlfriend, who made me finally start to enjoy sexuality again, recently broke up. It's only gotten worse from there. It tears me apart, and I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. It causes a lot of dark days, and no one should have to experience this. Well, I really hope that these people can find a way to find one another so that they don't feel alone, because this is some pretty intense shit. Here's hoping the stream is going through well. Not everybody in the stream is alright. Thank you to Linda, Gomi, and Jinx for hosting. But you guys really need to find your own audience so that they'll have something to watch. Aw, yeah. I'm talking about me. As we continue to go up, we arrive at number 15. And it reads as follows. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! Look how long this is. Bing bong. Okay, why stop editing? Stop putting your edit. Okay. Okay. Look at this whole fucking paragraph. It's like a throwaway. Man, trauma really does follow people throughout their damn life. So I was dating this woman for 2 years. We were both in our early 20s, and she was from another country. She moved here to follow her dreams, and because of that, she didn't have much here. When we started seriously dating, I was her everything. She didn't have family or friends around to help support her on this journey, so I was her boyfriend, her best friend, her shoulder to cry on, her fatherly wisdom, her mentor, and more commonly, her punching bag. When I say that, I at first don't mean it in a literal sense, but it sounds like it became that. Although that did become the case. The first year of our relationship was pure bliss, but I slowly noticed a poisonous trait. When she would have a bad day, or a fight with someone, or something upset her, she would bottle it all up to save face in a public around others, and then come home and unleash it all on me. It started as verbal abuse, but soon became a lot of verbal abuse. I was understanding of the stress that she was under, so I just took it to the chest and kept it to myself. Unfortunately, it soon became emotional abuse as well, verbally distressing me, manipulating me with her words, telling me how useless I was, pathetic, a piece of shit, and she was so much better than. She would do this to keep my subservient self under her thumb. At this point, it fucked my mind up, because she hurt me so badly that I would only see how unhappy she was, and focus only on that and making her happy. When she realized that's how I handled those situations, she would play me like a fiddle to get whatever she wanted, to keep me weak, isolated from my family, friends, and my job, even my studies. So yes, let's get to the point of this thread. We were arguing one day, she came to me with a social problem, and I helped her figure out the issue with a simple solution. But for whatever reason, she hated the fact that I was right and she was wrong. She started screaming belligerently, and I just didn't understand. Or that I just didn't understand. Then in the blink of an eye, she struck me. Hard. Again and again. A big haymaker to the temple, followed up with kicks and scratches and slaps, and throwing anything that she could get her hands on. She ripped the shirt off my back, and I stood there bloodied and confused as to what happened. I left without saying a word. I tossed my set of keys at her, grabbed my stuff, and left, but she had other plans in mind. She followed me into the street, wailing and crying in public, apologizing. She didn't mean it. She's sorry. If only I'd understand. Please come back inside. I can safely say the lowest moment of my life was when I crumpled like paper and went inside to comfort her. She's crying, telling me that I deserved it because she's so upset, and how could I do this to her? She says she wants to forget about it and that I could come there and hold her in my arms. Defeated, I feel scared as I move towards her. I no longer felt comfortable. I couldn't trust her, but doing what she said seemed easiest because it would mean no more arguments, no more hitting. In my arms, suddenly she's on top of me, kissing me like that would magically make everything better. She's grinding on me. I can't believe she thinks this is a good time. I try to wiggle away, out, but she grabs my wrist and looks deeply into my eyes. She says, "I'm sorry. Let me make it up to you." And once again, I do nothing, because at least to do nothing means no more hurt. A few months after this incident, we break up. It actually happened because I told her I wanted to spend time with my dying grandfather instead of her, and she screamed, "I hate you, I want to break up." And I just said, okay. When I told my family and friends about it, I felt a huge weight off my chest, but not everyone was so supportive. Obviously, you hear a lot of, "But she's just a girl, surely her punches can't hurt you. You can stop her." But to anyone on that side of the argument, I say, even if it doesn't hurt physically, it hurts emotionally. Emotionally, it shatters you. I felt so disgusted with myself about all of it that I haven't actually told anybody about it until now, with the sexual assault part that came afterwards. I don't know how to tie this up in a neat bow or hit you with a good takeaway message. It just sucks. And no one should ever have to feel so manipulated and used by someone they love. It's so hard to talk about these days. I put on a brave face and tell everyone I'm moving on, but since she did this to me, I feel like there is a hole in my life and happiness that has drained out and is never coming back. I guess a good way to end on a light note is the British were right for not liking the French? Don't blame scummy people on their nationalities. Come on, guys. Come on. There's nothing to drink here. That's my own fault, I suppose. It's my own fault, I suppose. What a world. Number 14. I feel like the feedback is so loud. You know? Maybe it's the... Hold on. Probably gonna switch microphones tomorrow. Boy. Oh God, I'm so sorry about that. I truly apologize. The sexiest mic I have is the Sedasia mic, and I don't necessarily want to move that, but I probably need to invest in a Shure one. But I don't know how much they cost. Let's see. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay. I wonder if it'd be essentially the same. I feel like it'd be the same. Is the comedy there? So, number 14. I apologize for that. I was 4. She was a preschool. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. She was a preschool teacher. It messed me up immensely. And I just realized what list I'm in, so this person is talking about abuse. Oh my God. They're talking about abuse at the hands of a teacher when they were only 4 years old. Jesus Christ. I was 4 years old. She was a preschool teacher. It messed me up immensely. I was all turned around, and when she stopped doing it, I was so conflicted. I hated that she did it, and I wondered what I'd done wrong. No. I hated that she did it, but I wondered what I'd done wrong. Meaning, you know, why isn't this still happening? Jesus. Because she was the one warning me of stranger danger. I thought that what she had done to me was something all adults do to kids. Whenever I'd wrestle with my dad, I wondered if and when he would start doing things to me too. I considered suicide extremely often in middle school and high school. Felt like I could never overcome what happened. I developed a revulsion of my body that was so extreme that I thought it was gender dysphoria. I genuinely could not imagine not feeling like this. I had no connection or conception of future where I would be happy. Yet, it happened. Slowly and with a lot of false steps and lost progress, I climbed out of the hole. I got healthier, I made friends, and became less shy. I attacked my problems one by one, growing bloodthirsty for self-improvement. I finally got the courage to start my university's therapy, and I found I found it tedious a lot of the time, but developed some good techniques that helped me recover. I have a girlfriend now, and love her more than anything. She understands me completely, including the limitations on our sex life that trauma can create. I never could imagine a few years ago that I'd have someone like her. Yeah. I'm not cured, and I don't think I'll ever be. I still can't watch sex scenes in movies or do certain things because they're triggering, and I think it broke my brain in a million little ways that I'm still discovering, but I don't dread the future anymore. I'm studying to get my master's in social work because I've been helped by so many people along the way, and now I want to help others improve their lives in some way. That's cool. That's cool. What's wrong with Jesus? Is the stream going through okay for everybody? I hope it's coming through all right. As we continue, we arrive at number 13. When I was 11, I rode the bus to school every day, and I sat by the window, and my best friend sat next to me on the aisle. There were 2 girls who sat in front of us, 13 and 14 years old. They would always tease me as I was still very small. They would poke me, make fun of the way that I looked and walked, and mess with my hair. It was rude, but not really problematic. One day my best friend suddenly jumps out of the seat while in mid-conversation. One girl slides into his spot before I even know what is happening and presses me up against the wall of the bus with her hips. Keep in mind, she's 3 years older than me, and boys bloom later than girls. She's probably had a good foot of height and 30 pounds on me. The other girl reaches over from the front seat and presses down on my shoulders so I can't escape upwards. The one in my seat presses me into the bus wall and starts grinding her butt into my crotch. I'm not old enough for this to do anything. She begins asking if I like this, to which I begin crying because I cannot move. I can't go anywhere. I'm trapped there until I am freed. I look over to see my friend, the boy that I thought was my best friend, laughing. Soon the whole bus figures out what is going on and begins laughing. All I can do is cry. When we get to school, I'm clearly very upset. My first period teacher pulls me aside to ask what is wrong, so I tell her. She laughs. I run away down the hall to cry. I am caught by security trying to leave the building and taken to the principal, who asks what is going on. I tell him what happened. Guess what? He laughs. Do you know what the worst part is? My best friend did this to me for $5. That was all my dignity, friendship, and sexual and mental health was worth to him. $5. This guy's saying, I'm not going to respond to any questions or anything. Jesus Christ. I think the saddest part about it is how he just ends it saying good luck to everyone in this thread. They're going to need it to overcome the hurdles associated with, abuse. Because the bottom line is, when you're a bitch, you can squawk, whether you're telling the truth or not, and people will come running to you to wait on you to try to make it all better, because a girl crying is such a, a sad thing. But when a dude, fucking 11 years old, my dude, okay, everybody just laughs. That's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. Number 12. Damn, this is, oh my god. Okay. I have written a lot about this on Reddit, but here it goes. A bit over a year ago, I was sexually assaulted by a younger girl at my university. I'm 33 years old and she's 23. We met while I was going through my separation with my ex-fiance, who was emotionally neglectful and abusive in her own way. The girl in question was actually really supportive of my decision to go back to college and was actively helping me with my studies. We shared a lot of the same interests, and she was very aggressive in her interest in me. After some time, we began dating, and for a while I thought I had lucked into the perfect girlfriend. I'm a fucking idiot, by the way. Why? I was really popular on this really tiny liberal arts campus because retro was in, and a ton of other factors. I felt I found a place where I belonged. Somewhere I belong. Stop. For the first time in my life. I grew up in a dangerous and poor shithole, and this place was smack dab in the middle of the wealthiest part of the major city that I moved into. The new friends that I made convinced me to move into this fancy luxury apartment adjacent to the campus that was totally private. This is important. The deal was that after meeting the parents, I kept these students out of trouble and teach them life skills. I then proceeded to have the best 6 months of my life. I thought I had a lot of cool friends who cared about me, this cool new girlfriend who messaged me every day that I could talk to for hours, and I was working to achieve a lifetime goal in the safest, cleanest, nicest environment that I ever lived in. Then the nightmare began. First, after meeting the girlfriend's friends, I found out this former friends with benefits was actually her current longtime boyfriend that she was cheating on. She is an amazing emotional manipulator and an expert liar. I confronted her about this and she denied everything as a misunderstanding. She resolved it. And we continued until one night we had a gathering at my place and she got super drunk, and after some foreplay, she went back to my room and she began to initiate sex, but I tried to push her away and tell her no. I think you were too drunk. She totally ignored me and continued to try and have sex with me until I had to physically lift her up and put her on the ground next to my bed. I felt so violated, but stupidly I comforted her like I did something wrong. A day or so went by before it really hit me. I was even weirdly euphoric the next morning for some reason, like my brain tried to cover up what happened. After her roommates found pills in her room and they called me over, it hit me how fucked the whole situation was. I resolved to break things off. Actually, I posited it like, I want this to be a sane and sober and consensual thing, but she straight looked me in the eyes and said no. I was divested. Is that a word? We gonna learn today. Divested. Deprived of power, rights, or possessions.
Divest.
Uh-huh. Bruh, I like devastated. Just go there. I was devastated, but it wasn't over. 2 days later, she called me back to the same restaurant, sat in the same seat I sat in, and then told me how it was really going to be. It was surreal. I would love to say I held my ground, but I was so stunned to be in the situation that I just sat there, disassociated. After a few days, I tried to break things off again, and when I did that, she broke into my apartment complex and sat outside of my door for hours, texted me nonstop, and a lot of bullshit happened. There were times I fought for it to work stupidly, times I felt trapped as the side guy, times I felt like I was the real boyfriend. I was such an emotional wreck by the time I finally got her to stop contacting me that I began having panic attacks. Here's the fucking crazy thing about this, you know? I get that some people, honest to God, some people do not have as strong a will as other people, but in today's day and age, do you think it's hard to ghost a motherfucker? No, just stop talking to them. Block them on shit, my dude. They can show up at your door, but that's when you need to call the goddamn police if you don't want to deal with them. Straight the fuck up. Straight the fuck up. This is so confusing to me because and here's the thing. If I were to speak to this guy right now, he would even be forced to admit it. He allowed this to happen, you know? Yeah, some people are non-confrontational. Yeah, some people don't have as strong a will as other people, and they because of how they feel, they're susceptible, they're vulnerable to emotional manipulation. But the bottom line is, it's a door that they have to open, and sometimes they don't just have to open it, they have to keep it open, you know? The other person will almost fight to close it, you know? The other person will be such a fucking storm that the wind will blow the door shut, and they'll have to keep opening that fucking door. Close those fucking doors, is what I'm trying to say. Look, I really needed to lean on a social support group for a second, and I learned the hard way that I didn't really have one. They were there at first, but they were all millennials caught up in their own dramas and were not super good at being supportive. And if I were part of your friend group, nigga, I would just tell your ass, drop this hoe. And if you're not strong enough to do it, then you a bitch ass nigga, you need to grow the fuck up. Maybe you need to lose all of your friends as a hard lesson in nutting the fuck up and doing something when it's detrimental to your well-being, my dude. And I've said this to many girls that I've dealt with in my past, is if they can't make a decision based on their best interest, you know what I mean? If they basically can't care enough for themselves to make a decision that benefits them, how can other people give a shit about you? You want to know why it's so easy to treat some girls like crap? Because they view themselves as crap. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. A lot of guys out there looking for them damaged goods because they view themselves down there. And when they view themselves down there, you can convince them to do a lot of freaking things that they shouldn't want to do or shouldn't consider themselves lacking enough to do, but they will do because that's how they view themselves. And here's, you know, I'm trying not to get involved with this, man, but the bottom line is he had to allow this. He had to allow this. Jesus Christ. They hooked me up with rebound dates and that ended in disasters, mostly told me to man up and get over it. Can you imagine? Yeah, man the fuck up, maybe. The new ex wasn't done, people began avoiding me on campus, and I had no idea why. I assumed everyone was just busy. Oh my God. How exhausting. I'm exhausted reading this. She began stalking me physically. We had made a deal where if... Let me get that Lost Frontier in here, man. Get this a little creepy. Okay. We had made a deal where if we had a function that we both had to be at, it lasted multiple days. We would pick different days to avoid one another. We still shared a class, and it sucked ass. She then intentionally broke this deal and began to stalk me at a function. And then after I left, I went to the bar to cool off. She followed me there with a group of people, and I got really stupid drunk. I stupidly fell into a pool on the way back home, hit my head, and fell unconscious. I was dead, or would have been, if it were not for some random strangers who pulled me out. The fucked up thing is that she was following me back with that group of friends, and they saw what happened, but she interrupted a 911 call and pulled them away so they could not intervene. I woke up in my room cold, wet, and half naked. 2 days later, I learned that my roommates were attempting to terminate the lease without my knowledge. You see, after I had finally gotten her to stop hounding me, she then turned around and destroyed my reputation on campus by telling people that it was I who was stalking and sexually harassing her. She then got a mutual friend of ours to tell my academic advisor that I had stalked her too. And this is the lesson that you gotta learn, my dude, is you should have turned your back. You should have got the fuck away from that hoe when you got the chance. You should have shut that shit down. Y'all got camera phones these days, my dude. Some bitch stalking you, you get that footage. You get that footage. Oh my God. A lot of other bullshit happened. When I learned that my so-called friends knew for months about this, I exploded. A few days later, the dean of students appeared on my doorstep, acting on false rumors by the students, and coerced me out of my lease under threat of expulsion. I was now homeless. I managed to make it back to class, and the real torture began. People were afraid of me, and a few would talk to me. The students who believed the defamation called me in like an active shooter threat, made other false accusations, began logging my location in a group chat that I obtained. They joked about me being shot, bullied people who still spoke to me, and then started doing this to people I met off campus. I bounced from basement to bench to couch. I lost 30 pounds to malnutrition, but I kept trying to come to class. I filed a Title IX against all of them, and learned that the university didn't even contact the accused, and buried it. When I tried to apply for dorm housing, I was refused due to my age, gender, and the defamation. I was then taunted by the dean with, "What lawyer could you afford to do anything about it?" Ooh. So I found lawyers to help me fight back. I have one settlement meeting, and the Department of Education has opened an investigation into the university. OCR rarely does this, so there is a good chance I will finally see justice after all of this suffering. I am still physically, financially, and psychologically broken. They even brought this craziness here on Reddit, ending a fundraiser for legal aid money. I am in debt, hungry, but I have shelter at least. Hopefully the school will settle and restore my reputation before next semester. This nigga said, oh, I know you guys think that I just suck a lot of that dick and I get up on my little shit wannabe platform and just talk out of my ass sometimes when I'm fucking doing these lists. But listen to fucking this right here. I forgot to mention it here, but the reason my case is uniquely strong is because I began to record everything. He began to what? he began to record everything, my dude. Niggas can't refute a motherfucking recording. They could say, oh, it's Photoshop, that ain't my voice, you know what I mean? But when you have enough individual, unique recordings of people doing shit they ain't supposed to do, that's what's going to make them look bad. Because a hoe can open her mouth and squawk some bullshit that ain't true. It's really all about how many people she can get to believe her. Oh, I'll believe those titties, those juicy, hot, big titties. I believe those. I'd love to get in that, you know? She comes over, she slurps it up, and now she's got a whole group of people just believing what the fuck ever tune she's singing. But, my dude, when you can prove something, that's all you're really gonna have in the fight. Whether you're talking about ladies, whether you're talking about false accusations from anybody, you're talking about dealing with the police, please make sure that you got a recording, okay? Because when that kind of shit disappears, then you're in trouble. Then you're in trouble. Keep your phones charged, make a little bit of space. If shit goes down in public, scream it out. You know how they used to say shit like, if somebody looks like they've collapsed and you're gonna administer CPR and you should go, you call an ambulance or you call, the law. You know what I mean? The thing you should start screaming when shit goes down is somebody pull out your camera phone and start recording this. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure it's on the internet before the police even leave, before they start confiscating. You know how many fucking things that I see on the internet where the law running at somebody? I'm talking about checking, physically running at somebody like they're going to tackle somebody just because they're recording, because they fucking know. They fucking know they could get done with these recordings these days. And the funny thing is, the cops are typically untouchable, baby. Most people are untouchable. Because if they got enough money to throw at the lawyers and to people in the court system to just roll that shit around, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, look, record. That's all I'm trying to say. Record. Oh my God. Oh my God. Because it's so sad. We live in a world where people aren't just gonna believe what other people say, but they'll lie on their account. Like they'll lie in their favor. Holy shit. Fuck these hoes, man. These hoes ain't nothing but bitches and tricks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So we continue up the list of 18 male victims of sexual abuse. We arrive at number 11. The owner of a company would sit on my lap and talk about how I couldn't handle her. Sorry, that just gave me I want to say it's like heartburn. I feel like I need a tablet now. What the fuck? I feel really strange inside. Is there a tablet on this desk? Hold on. This is where I should keep that kind of shit. There's the dock for the Nintendo Switch. There's a lot of stuff on this desk that doesn't need to be here. Exactly. That's an icing packet from a toaster strudel. Okay. There's the microphone that fell over. I got the vapor. Oh, cool. Here's that long screwdriver I use when I'm building. Okay. Oh my God. Nintendo 3DS. It's been a while. Somebody should send me a Pokemon. Give me a reason to dust that bad boy off. I do not see my tablets. I'll have to get to that another time. This has been a fun little adventure. Sorry. Number 11. The owner of the company would sit on my lap and talk about how I couldn't handle her. HR grabbed my ass and said she could blow my mind in front of 2 other women. She had a huge crush on me. I was 23 and all of the women were 40 to 45. Man, sounds like a party. But yeah, no, it's got to be consensual. It's got to be consensual, guys. Oh my God. I can blow your mind. What the fuck? Number 10. I was walking on the sidewalk. A woman walking the other way grabbed my junk. I was probably 12 or 13. I didn't think much of it at the time. Now I think it was sexual assault. Damn. Number 9. Man, come on, man. You're killing me, man. Okay. I guess this technically counts, though it isn't really part of my identity, nor do I struggle with it, since I was too little to remember, and probably too little to receive it in my spirit. Receive it in your spirit, my dude. What does that even mean? It's time to get spooky in this bitch. My mom told me the whole reason she went to third shift until I was 18 was because when they had a babysitter, this teenage girl decided to do some sort of molestation to my member and balls. My mom came home on lunch break or something and found out. So it must have been something sexual. Damn. Vanessa, it's always you, darling. Damn, Vanessa. Vanessa, why are you so perfect? Thank you, Vanessa. I hope. I want to thank Vanessa for reverse raping me tonight. And that's Kyl's phrase of the night. I'm really gonna need those tablets. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. So back to this babysitter girl molesting this kid, right? Must have been something sexual. Not just seeing a kid's balls or checking them for lumps or something. If it led my mom to never trust a babysitter and switch to third shift so she could babysit me. At least I have a good relationship with my parents now because of it. Holy shit. Holy shit. As we continue to number 8. Nah, son, I'm gonna need them tablets, son. I'm short and I have a small penis. Bruh. Basically, the opposite of what a girl would ever want, what a girl would ever need. Whatever keeps you happy sets you free, and I'm thanking you for knowing exactly. I am short, I've got a small penis. Sorry. God, this isn't cool. I'm not belittling. I'm not downplaying. I'm just trying to keep everybody from, committing suicide, because this is a pretty dark list, okay? Number 8. I'm short and I have a small penis, basically the opposite of what a girl would ever want. A few girls decided to sexually assault me. I thought I'd be the last person that it would ever happen to. I went to a party, got drunk, trying to make friends, but I drank too much. A few girls came into the room that I passed out in and started making fun of me. One of the girls was telling me, or telling the other, that I was such a loser and a lightweight. I can't remember what else they said, but they decided it would be funny to take my pants off and try to take pictures. It just got worse, because the thing I'm most ashamed of is my penis. Sorry. They took my underwear off and started making fun of me for having such a small dick. I tried fighting back. I'm so sorry. I'm okay. Look, I'm not laughing at a small dick. Okay, mine is not. I can't even lie. Okay, look. Here's the thing. I'm not laughing at a small dick here. What I'm laughing at is, okay, have you ever seen this one episode of South Park where they try to make like the nastiest fucking story in the world or something, and they call it the tale of Scrody McBoogerballs? This would be a really funny joke, because this is the thing about Reddit. You can't prove nothing that nobody's writing is real, okay? The thing when we, I try to say this often so that we know what's going on, but You need to read everything here with a grain of salt, which is to say, there's no guarantee that any of the people aren't taking you for a ride. This could just be them lying, you know? But when we're reading, because of the way that the world works, we can't really even make up something that hasn't probably occurred, you know? So when people tell these stories, we're supposed to be thinking, it sucks, yes, because it probably has happened, it probably is happening, and it will most certainly happen to somebody out there. The reason that I laugh is because I like the idea of like some troll just writing a story about a guy who got raped, but he's totally lying, you know what I mean? And it's not true. Oh, my bing bong. What a world. Why is Jesus making that face? He's so strange. Okay, as we continue this list, I apologize for just losing it at the idea of some troll, like, you know, sitting like snickering to himself as he's writing this bullshit story. I'm so sorry. This could have happened. It's real. So here we go. It just got worse. The thing I'm most ashamed of is my penis. They took my underwear off and started making fun of me for having a small dick. I tried fighting back, but I was struggling to get their hands off and trying to hide my penis. They took pictures while I tried to cover myself, and the next week, I think a lot of people saw me pantsless. The jokes fucking sucked. Even my friends got to see it. I was on a campus where you needed a car to travel around to get food and stuff. I didn't have a car. I would have people dropping by my dorm and saying, "Hey, tiny penis." I was mortified, and I didn't know what to do. I told some of the people who handle this at school, and they basically said that I had no evidence, especially since I did not have those photos. I didn't even know the girls' names. I went to ask people for help, even the ones who made fun of me, to find who took the pictures and who sent them. Some of them got scared and didn't answer, but one of the guys just said it was sent by friends of friends, so I have no idea who actually sent it. I couldn't do anything. No one wanted anything to do with me because I had such a small penis, and thought that I was some sort of joke. No one even wanted to help me. I'm okay with never getting laid or having a relationship, but I can't even be left alone. Like, can I at least be depressed in peace? The other day I was Facebook looking at some people's profiles. I finally found them. All three of the girls who took the pictures. All of them wrote, "Me too." This reads like a goddamn green text. I am not a cruel person, and you guys know it. If even one of you is enjoying this because you think it's just a bit much, you know? Here's the thing. I always like to look at these things objectively, and here's the bottom line. People are terrible, okay? You should expect people to be terrible at this point, okay? Women are out there lying, and not just getting people killed on their lies, but taking their freedom away. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is this. You need to be very fucking careful where you place yourself, what you do. Because I thought, like, I'm going to tell you something right now. If I'm thinking to myself that I'm going to get drunk as fuck, if I don't have somebody that I would essentially trust with my life on deck, right? You know what I mean? Then I'm certainly not doing it anywhere that's not my house, you know? I'm not getting super duper fucking wasted drunk in the midst of people I don't fucking know, worrying about how I'm gonna get home, where the fuck I'm at, and all kind of bullshit like this. If I'm gonna be taking any kind of drugs or getting really, I'm talking blackout type bullshit, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Of course I am not victim shaming. It is not his fault that these girls did this terrible thing to him if this happened. And I'm not saying that something like this hasn't happened either. I'm sure some variation of something like this has happened before. The bottom line is, you gotta be safe, my dude. You gotta situate yourself with people. You know? Oh boy. Oh boy, what a story. This is new too. You know, bruh, number 7, okay? I went to a party with old friends from high school. We all were staying in a hotel, and there was this girl who obviously liked me for years, but I had zero attraction to her. All night a few friends were messing with me, saying she wanted to fuck, and I kept on insisting, no, that's not gonna happen. Man, I'm glad nobody likes me, because this is like scary. The idea that like people are just like, look, let me get it. Oh, come on, let me get it. Oh, is he over there getting drunk? It's finally time. Later in the night, all of my friends left for reasons, and it was just me and a few others, including the girl. I had been drinking this light wine, which wasn't very strong. Next thing I remember is waking up next to her with the feeling of confusion and panic setting in. I left immediately and went home, feeling depressed for weeks because although I don't remember anything, I knew it happened. You should get like hypnotic regression therapy, like you had an alien abduction, and then just be like, she's getting on top of me. No, get off of me. No, she's saying to come in her. No, I'm sorry, that's not cool. I talked to one of her friends who I've known for years, and she said she was feeding me very strong drinks all night on purpose and was telling everyone we were gonna fuck that night. She basically dragged me into a bedroom, didn't see us till morning. She showed no regrets and was bragging to her friends about it. A few months later, I'm talking to a few of my buddies when it comes up. I get really upset and say I don't want to talk about it. I then find out the same thing happened to him and a lot of people that I know. This wasn't an on and off mistake. She basically gets guys drunk and then gets them alone and does what she wants. I'm done reading this entry. Guys, I'm going to say something to you very, 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 very specifically, and I want you to listen the fuck up. I want you to listen the fuck up for what I'm going to tell you here. No, I'm not victim shaming when I say, hey niggas, you need to be fucking careful, okay? Because the life that you're living isn't just like the bottom line is girls get raped, and yeah, it's a traumatizing experience and they got that to live with for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? Blah, 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 blah. I'm not rolling my eyes like it's not a terrible situation, but that, you know, they get raped and maybe they get pregnant, you know what I mean? Maybe their parents hate them, you know, all kinds of terrible emotional bullshit, okay? But listen to this. Here's a nightmare scenario. You're a dude, right? And you're drinking and you're not like really watching what's going on, and you black out. You wake up next to some hoe that you don't know and she just banged you. You looking around, you don't see no rubbers, you know? So she used you who knows how many times, and she got it all up in there. What's to stop this lady now from in a couple of months plopping a baby out and then saying that it's yours? It's your baby. You got to pay her. That's your baby. You know what I mean? Now, is that worth paying for the rest of your life with some girl that you don't know who definitely and most likely just used your ass? You know what I'm talking about? Who just used your ass, bro? Be careful when you're out there with these women, because you don't need to be drunk to have the woman call the police and say you hit her or that you raped her. You don't need to black out and come in that pussy for her to claim that you're the father of a baby and get people to believe that. You know what I mean? Be fucking careful. Have friends, or at the very least, witnesses on deck. Don't be afraid to pull that phone out and take a picture of a motherfucker or record some shit. Even if you wake up in bed next to somebody, don't just be thinking, oh, I immediately need to run. Take a picture of the crime scene, my dude. You have so much technology at your disposal these days that you are not taking advantage of, and it will save you if you use it. You and I are living in a very strange in the middle portion of our lives. I like to think in the future, if the cameras aren't just going to be everywhere the way that the microphones are everywhere right now, you know what I'm talking about? Your phones are recording you for the government, whether you realize it or not. You know what I mean? It's a trade-off that you had to do based on the fact that you got a smartphone, right? But I like to think that in the future, the cameras are going to be everywhere. Whether that means we're going to have something in the way of like a, I don't want to say like a cyber implant that allows our eyes to act as a live feed. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to go full Black Mirror or anything, but I like to believe that maybe we will be able to recall some shit, you know, in a definitive, non-doctored way to prove something may or may not have occurred. But until that happens, you got to be proactive. You got to make sure that you're not going to get sent up the fucking river, because some people will take advantage of every opportunity that comes their way. And if you allow yourself to be the sap, then I don't want to say you deserve what's coming to you, but you definitely deserve it more than somebody who is fighting in the opposite direction to make sure that this kind of shit doesn't happen. I like to think of it like that. I like to think of the world as being a terrible place that's going to put people in terrible situations. And some of the people who try really hard, they still find themselves in those situations. But I like to think that they stand more of a chance of not getting in those situations than the people who do nothing about it. You know? I don't want you guys to think like, you know, you can't go out, you can't have a good time. But you need to take care of business. You need to be fucking mindful. You need to be wise. You need to be smart. You need to situate yourself with not just someone, but perhaps people who you believe have your best interest at heart, and that they would also trust you if some shit like that went down. So look, man, let's get the hell out of here. Let's continue. Wow. Oh my God. Pretty scary. Ugh. I still feel like shit about it to this day, and just try and forget it. Though, it's hard when the topic comes up because everyone thinks it's a joke and makes fun of me. I did not just sleep with her and regret it. I had no control over the situation and was taken advantage of. There is almost no one I can talk to about this, as I'm just so uncomfortable about it and fear I won't be taken seriously or seen as weak. Look, man, if it happened to me, I'd be horrified of the idea of my seed inside of some hoe and her trying to use that baby to fucking as collateral. I got your baby now, yeah. I got your baby now. Number 6. Hashtag I got your baby now. The first time was, my God, gross. The first time was my babysitter around the age of 10. First time. It's just a terrible sentence. I didn't know what I was doing was bad or wrong because I was giving her special kisses. She had me performing oral sex on her while she'd watch her trashy TV shows, and my brother was outside playing, or brothers were outside. My mom didn't believe me and kept my babysitter employed for a year or so when my babysitter finally moved. My trust in women is pretty fucking minimal even 20 years later. Bruh. Number 5. I was 14, she was 16. She offered to give me a ride home after school one day, and I accepted, because why not? I didn't want to take the bus, and she had a car. We knew each other from concert band. It wasn't like I was accepting a ride from a stranger. She drove straight to her house and said she needed a glass of water. I went in with her, and as soon as I closed the door, she shoved her hand down my pants and started kissing me. I want to stress that I was 14 years old, and I had never so much as held hands with a girl, and I barely knew this chick, and certainly had no attraction to her. But I knew what guys were supposed to enjoy this sort of thing, so I just kind of let her do what she wanted. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to respond. I just wanted to ride home. She got mad that I wasn't getting turned on. She told me to get naked. I did, because I was supposed to want this, right? But all I wanted was a ride home. I ended up apologizing to her for not being able to reciprocate. She made fun of me for not being able to get it up. I thought there was something wrong with me, but all I wanted was a ride home. It's just so fucked up. Number 4. I was 23, or 22 at the time. One of my best friend's colleagues' house party. I was halfway through my second beer when I suddenly blacked out. I was roofied because I was 180 pounds and a heavy drinker. Apparently, I made my way to my friend's bed while blacked out and slept there. I was stirred from my slumber 3 to 4 hours later by a sharp pain in my abdomen, to an overweight girl straddling me, kissing my face. I yelled and tried to roll around to get her off of me. I literally felt like I was going to die from her crushing me. My friends heard me from the other room and ran into the room. I'm not sure if they pushed her off or if she just fell off in all the commotion, but she stumbled around in the bedroom, breaking the sliding closet door. I remember she just walked out of the bedroom while people from the party started coming into the room to see what the commotion was. Still trying to get my bearings, I had to explain to friends of my girlfriend, who was not present, that I didn't just cheat on her because they saw the girl walk out, but rather I was taken advantage of moments ago while passed out. Everyone shrugged their shoulders, walked out of the room, and back to the party. Oh boy. Hey, give me that junk rat. How I get that? Nah, I only want demon junk rat. Never mind. I only want that junk rat. Demon rat. I'm never gonna get demon junk rat. I'm never gonna get it. Jesus. Why do I have to wait? If they don't put it in Halloween, I'm gonna lose my shit, man. Fucking lame. Now I'm upset. Great. Let's get through this list. It is a doozy. This list is upsetting me. Maybe I have a reason to staying on the nice boy lists. Number 3. Long story short, college girlfriend and her best friend decided to trade boyfriends without telling the boyfriends. They planned it for the night of a Halloween party. The other guy couldn't make it because he was finishing a project. My girlfriend said she was sick, but instead went over to the scene shop to seduce him. It worked. While I was at the party and my girlfriend's friend decided to take the easy route and got me blackout drunk, then drove me back to my place in my car, I wake up and she's alternating between riding and blowing me. Thank you, Whiskey Dick. I stumble to the living room and pass out on the couch, wake up some hours later, drive her home, immediately call my girlfriend to see her and apologize for cheating, find out they had planned it. She and the other guy started dating. The other chick decided to become a college lesbian to attract guys. I tried to tell some people about it, but got brushed off, so I didn't see it as rape/sexual assault for a while. Sexual assault, sorry. Just a wacky story with a messy end of a short-term relationship in college. Then a few years ago, I was having a worst breakup conversation with some people and nobody laughed at my story. Bruh. I'm just glad that I've never been in the midst of creatures so disgusting that they would swap boyfriends without them knowing. You're nasty. What the fuck? Number 2. I was 13 and my math and French teacher, she taught both classes, held me after school one day. I would later learn this was 4 days after another student had been abusing she had been abusing transferred to another school. First, she tried to bribe me with grades. Then she threatened to call CPS on my family and make a false abuse report, as the oldest at the time of 4. Kids, I felt responsible for keeping my family safe. I put up with the abuse for 6 months. There were 2 months where she didn't come for me. Turns out she was abusing at least 2 other students at the same time. I can only assume she was doing that at the time. I finally reported the abuse to the school guidance counselor, who told me she would handle it. Handling it apparently went poorly, since 2 weeks later I was hauled into the principal's office, where a police officer, my mother, and the teacher who abused me were all in there, and I was being accused of threatening to shoot up the school. The witnesses, my bully, the teacher I had reported for sexually abusing me, and her son, yes, her son, who was in my class. The school offered to not press charges if I agreed to transfer. I was a 13-year-old kid who was informed in no uncertain terms by the police officer, who I'm pretty sure was only told what I was told myself, that if the school did seek charges, I could spend up to 2 years in juvenile detention. My mother and I both accepted this. It kind of breaks my heart to read. I just don't even want to go on, you know? The school defended her, and it happens a lot. Y'all don't know shit like that. Y'all don't know shit like schools defending like rapist teachers, but it happens a lot, my dude. Cause that's what the guidance counselor's supposed to be there for. This little nigga, this 13-year-old boy, ran to the guidance counselor to try to get help for the abuse that was going on. And they notified the cops that he threatened to shoot the school up. You know, I don't want to go on. You know? I tried to get therapists and psychologists to listen to my story. I told other people. I told teachers at my new school. I told 2 different police officers. Half of them called me a liar. 2 of the therapists and psychologists were convinced that I was projecting abuse that I suffered at the hands of a male relative onto the teacher that reported my mental issues. I stopped telling people. I stopped trying to get help. I bottled it up. When I was 16, between the depression and self-hatred from the abuse, my grandfather being sick, and everyone knowing he was going to I'm sorry, man. I can't do it, dude. This is fucking crippling. Does it have to be this bad? Does it have to be this real? You know?
Some women are horrible and amused.
Vanessa, I love you, sweetie, and thanks for being so great that that we can kind of put some of these people out of our heads. Prelude, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that cheer. Let's just roll up out of this, man, because this is pretty shitty, you know? It's pretty bad. You know, we do live in a world that favors women, and this is why it's gonna seem like I disrespect women to some people that sit and watch some of my videos. And sometimes, yes, I will admit, I do ham it up. You know why I ham it up? Because I know that some people only come in fresh to some of my videos for the first time. So I want them to know that I'm a bit excessive and a bit blunt and a bit harsh as it pertains to my view on some women and how they can abuse their power. The reason for that is because some of these hoes these days are fucking snowflakes. And as soon as anybody says anything about women that's not what they're used to hearing, they flip out They don't want to hear that, and they're immediately flying off the channel. And that's the way that I want it to be. I want it to basically just me urging them the fuck on up out of here, so that they're not watching me thinking that I should be delicate or ginger with you because of your sex. You know what I'm talking about? Because what equality means is that we're all treated the goddamn same. And that's something that people really don't fucking understand. So I don't know where to go with it, but just to say it like that. The bottom line is, though, you know, I look at some of this shit. And it just makes me amused. Because some of these ladies out here, some of these feminists that are honestly like traitors to their own cause, they don't understand that, yes, you paid less, okay? But the world listens to you as a woman. Whereas when you're a man, the world laughs at you if you ever have a problem, because it's your fault, right? When you're a woman and you cry out, it's someone else's fault and they're going to help you. I'm sorry that that happened to you. How can we help you, my dude? But when you're a man and you cry out, it's your fault. Why didn't you do this? You're not telling the truth. Just shut up. You know what I mean? Just man up. You sure you didn't want that? Look at Jesus over here. He's like, you know, pretty unsympathetic to this 13-year-old nigga getting fucking shafted. And here's the thing. Yeah, the sexual abuse, that's fucked up. It's going to traumatize him. But you know what's even sadder? The fact that when he went to tell somebody, they stabbed his ass in the back. He did this not because he wanted to, but because he felt responsible for keeping his family safe. And then in telling people that he was being abused, who's in jeopardy? The whole family, because they got to move now, because the guidance counselor, the principal, the teacher's son, they all accusing this little nigga of shooting up the fucking school now. You know, the teachers, the fucking faculty are ganging up on this little nigga to get him out of there so they can protect their child molester parent. Their child molester teacher, dude. And it's sick, but that's the way that the world goes. Not everybody, you know, some people, when shit goes down, they don't immediately think to call the police because the police ain't gonna help them. You know what I'm talking about? And in a situation like this, it's just as sad because the boy learned a hard lesson. That's what's cripplingly sad to me. You know, when you have a child, you gotta take that salt bottle and not even just try to dump it on there. You gotta like put some in your hand and sprinkle it on them and let them know gradually over time that the world ain't fair, baby. The world ain't gonna go the way that you want it to. The world does suck. Life is a bitch. You gotta figure this shit out. You gotta find a way to get on top of that hoe, right? But to just have it fucking splashed in your face, bam, motherfucker, right when you're not even 15, not even 16 years old, that sucks. You know? You go into therapists, you go into psychiatrists, it's these niggas' job. These dudes are paid to do nothing but sit and listen, and they're telling you that you're a liar? They're telling you you're not telling the truth? They know better than you do, my dude? How do you imagine? You can't imagine a life. You can't imagine a life where you have no one to turn to because they're going to make it seem like it's your fucking fault. That's the bottom line here. This is cripplingly sad. You know? So are all women stupid? Hell no. Are all women terrible? Hell no. But the comedy is the equality that some of these women fight for. If they were to get it, they would be fucking boxed in the fucking face the second they open their mouth on that giggledy wiggledy bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? There'd be a lot of them spending some cold ass nights in the fucking jail cells because a guy straight up lied about them raping them. If they were to take the men seriously and put some of these hoes away. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The half of the women that are out there preaching that they want that equality couldn't fucking handle it if it hit them, because we live in a disgusting fucking world. Some of the women that even get to retain custody blow my mind with all of the drugs and none of the employment and all of the disgusting. We were reading a story the other night about how a woman was deemed unfit to have 2 of her kids, but one of the other kids she was allowed to keep. So how, what makes this kid specifically one that she can parent when she is incapable of parenting the other ones? And, you know, maybe that's a flaw with the system of law, whatever. But, bruh, you know, they say ignorance is bliss. Sometimes you can't even get up and try to go through another day if you were completely and utterly aware of the sickness that some people accept as like totally okay, as a mentality, as a way of life, as the way they should live. Fuck me. This one's been gilded 4 times and I feel like it's going to be... Oh, I just hope it has a happy ending, you know? Cheers. I'm just bracing myself for this final entry. You know, Jesus is saying that he's sympathetic over the fact that he got fucked over by the school, but if he was 13, yeah, bro, we get it, your perspective that, you know, but you got to open your eyes and remember that you live in a world where more people than just you exist, and that not everybody has the same reaction or the same stamina or capacity to process and handle shit the way that you do. Not all of us have the same interests or the same likes, you know what I mean? Some people gonna like some shit, some people gonna hate some shit. So, and just because you're a 13-year-old that was looking to get your dick sucked by whoever the fuck was, you know, on deck to do that because you could get something in return, doesn't mean that every 13-year-old was down for that, you know? Nor should he have been. And that's socially correct, the fact that they had to hide that. Because if it was okay, then they wouldn't have had to hide it and it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, that's all I'm saying is this kid's shoes, and you can't help but feel bad for him. It's the final one, man. Let's go ahead and get through it. Number 1, I worked at a burger bar for the last 2 years of my university degree. It was actually a really decent job where I could work hours and around coursework with ease, get free food, and worked with people that I consider very good friends. As the burger bar got more popular, we had to hire some more waiting staff. One of the new girls we'll call Lauren. I actually recognized Lauren from a couple of my classes. I knew she had a boyfriend that had come with her to university to study a different course. No big deal. I trained her as well as a few other new starters, and all was fine for a few weeks. It started as fairly excusable incidents where her bum would brush past my crotch when behind a fairly narrow bar. I don't think anything of this. However, things started to get a bit worse every time I worked with her. It went from more frequent brushing to an accidental touch of my bum here and there. I started to get very uncomfortable and prayed that we weren't on the same shifts. I have a girlfriend who I care for deeply, and I know that she would hate to see another girl doing this to me. I kept wanting to tell somebody, but I knew that people would just say it was friendly. But I just did not enjoy it, and it made me feel horrible and uncomfortable. I just got out on my work shift, or I just got on with my work until one day she grabbed my crotch when I quickly tried to walk past her. I nervously walked away quickly. This day was the worst. She would thrust her bum into me, grab me and try to hug me. My colleague even pushed me aside and said I could not flirt at work. Enough was enough. I pulled her aside and told her that I was very sorry, but she was making me uncomfortable and I didn't like it. She laughed and said that she was like that with every boy. And okay. Fast forward to the next day, and I had a late university class. People were acting very strangely around me, actively avoiding sitting next to me. Even close friends that I had made over the year moved away, and I got on with class feeling all eyes were on me and feeling like I smelled or something. Halfway through, I was pulled out. Police and a university counselor were outside waiting for me. Lauren had told the university that I'd been stalking her and had sexually assaulted her after work. My life went into a downward spiral. My university friends wouldn't speak to me. I couldn't turn up for work. The only silver lining was my girlfriend believed me. I had to turn up to work to inform my manager of the situation, very prepared for him to laugh at me, out of work for not liking it. We sat down and he listened to my story. After I was done, he nodded at me and told me to leave it to him. At the time, I thought this meant he didn't believe me. And evening, about a week later, I got a call from the manager at the burger bar. He had been compiling all the footage from security cameras, my man, showing Lauren doing all of these things, and handed it to the police. The camera fucking saved the day. The camera fucking saved the day. The camera fucking saved the day. I'm thinking about an episode of The Simpsons called Homer Bad Man. And I'm looking it up right now because I own all of The Simpsons. It's the 9th episode of the 6th season. Give me a moment while I pull that up off my hard drive. In the episode Homer Bad Man, the episode starts with them going to like a candy convention, okay? They get a babysitter. They get a babysitter for the kids while Homer and Marge go to get the candy, right? The candy's all over the place by the end of it. So when they get home, and they get the babysitter and they're dropping her off, Homer is just being his oafish self. He's not being, you know, rude or disgusting. He's just being an idiot. He's Homer Simpson. It doesn't stop the babysitter from feeling, you know, uncomfortable that he's like being disgusting with her. And long story short, as she's getting out of the car, a gummy Venus de Milo is attached to her ass. It's like a piece of candy. So Homer sees the candy and it's just like, and then he's like, you know what I mean? His noise that he makes, like he's drooling. And then he peels the candy off of her ass, but it seems like he touches her ass, my dude. So, you know, she tells everybody that this guy's a disgusting joik. Sorry, I'm like opening the episode right here. Hold on. Wait a goddamn minute. Is this the right episode? Go back to that song and open this in a new window, damn it. Give me a second here. 9th episode of the 6th season. Give me 1 second. Season 6, episode 9. God damn it. Let me go ahead and capture it. Window capture. Oh, there we go. That's nice. All right. So, you know, the whole town gets mad. It's an angry mob type thing. You know, they mad at this guy. Homer, stop harassment now on all this bullshit. You know, do you know how prehistoric this episode is, my dude? You know how prehistoric this episode is. We could look it up later. But the thing that I'm remembering is the thing that saves Homer is that there was a recording where you see him grabbing the candy off of her ass. And it's not him doing that. That's what saves him. But there's a line from Marge at the end of the episode that says something like, you know, the courts may not work, but as long as everybody keeps recording each other, then we'll be all right. Wait.
Videotaping everyone.
Wait,
you know,
here it is.
The courts might not work anymore, but as long as everybody is videotaping everyone else, justice will be done.
Let's look up this date. Let's look up the date of this fucking episode, my dude, because I'm interested now. Sorry it took me a while to dig up here, though. But, I find that particularly creepy. Homer Bad Man is an episode that aired in 1994. You know? Because that's like almost 30 years ago, right? What's 1994 plus 30? Yeah. Give me that math, baby. 1994 plus 30 equals 2024, almost 20 years ago. Almost 20 years ago. Holy balls, man. Holy balls. Holy Bing Flubian. It's creepy to me. It's creepy to me. But that's what saved him. Was a video. And my man sent it to the police. It cleared my name, and I honestly owe a lot to my manager. Lauren was fired on the spot, dropped from the university. My friends at university never spoke to me again, always thinking there was more to the story. Life hadn't really been the same since, and I haven't ever told anyone else about this. And the manager's a hero in this instance, because he didn't laugh the dude off. He knew he had that footage, my dude. Okay? What the fuck? Y'all always hear me barking that bullshit, but let me die right now. Take this away from yourself. Have a fucking recording. Even if that shit's technically illegal, because you need people's consent to record them, my dude. People are fucking scumbags. Do you need the consent of a scumbag? Fuck that. Fuck that. When they're gonna lie and try to take away your freedom, when they're gonna lie and try to get you paying child support for a kid that they got fucking some other dude, when they're lying on you and ruining your life, getting you homeless, your reputation, people ain't talking to you because they're scumbags themselves now. That scumbagness is infectious and it's crawling over everybody like a plague. Record that ass. Put them on blast, because the only thing that's going to be getting them singing a different tune is the shame associated with the truth. And only the truth will set you free. Okay? Only the truth will set you free. Guys, I love you. And I streamed too long because I wanted to order something for myself so I could get something to drink tonight, but I'm not gonna, because it's too damn late. I hope you enjoyed this downer of a list. I'm very sorry that this is what's going on. It kind of sucks. Every day that passes, I hate Fortnite even more. You know. But I'm really hoping that that Sony allows crossplay, so that we can all play with one another regardless of whether or not you have a Xbox or you know, a Nintendo Switch or whatever. You know, I hate Fortnite because everybody's building and nobody's killing. Let me show you a video right now, and I'll speed it up. But what I want you to know is that this video is 3 minutes in length. For 3 minutes, I was chasing around some homo, and instead of just having a gunfight with me like a good little boy, he did this, you know? So I'm just going to show you this, but I'm also going to speed it up, so check it out. Okay, so there we go. Speed it up. This is how people play Fortnite. It was just him and me in a solo match where, you know, whoever kills wins. And this is what this dude is doing. Unbelievable. Jesus Christ. At no point, you know, do they want to engage, do they want to try to kick ass. They're just building. It's so not who I am. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Jesus hell. 33 health on me. All he'd have to do is come down and finish that shit. But is that what he's about? No. Giving me time to run and bandage up. The fuck? If you don't play Fortnite already, don't play it. You know what I mean? Just wait until the game's finally coming out, like, of early access to be an official game. I'm sure it's fun as hell when you play it with your friend. Oh, when they have their playground mode that comes out, then it'll be fun to play, maybe. But the guns don't work, like, they're unreliable, you name it. There go the storm right there. This dude is just building up a storm. What is really going on? Oh my god. Jesus, every day you seem a little more incapable of seeing things outside of the perspective of yourself. Because to be completely honest with you, Destiny is probably the most mediocre and most repetitive experience in the world that no real person could play for more than a few hours and then not want to immediately drop it. But you play Destiny all the time. So I feel like I should find a way to edit your nickname to show this guy plays Destiny whenever you talk, so people go, oh, okay, that makes sense. That you'd be saying some shit like that. But, like, yeah, man. Another victory to some asshole. Fortnite's hilarious. Oh, man. Hannah bought herself a new skin, so... you know, I'm sure she'll want to show that all off to you. You know what I mean? She'll want to show that off. What's it look like? It's like a gumshoe Fortnite skin. There it is. That's what Hannah looks like now in Fortnite. She thinks she's so cute, but I'm cooler. Let's get back to Reddit and make sure nothing crazy's going on for, wait. Hannah says she don't what? Free agent DeMarcus Cousins has agreed to deal with the Golden State Warriors. Oh, people are talking about NBA? Let me just see if I can hover over this and then filter that. Thank you. Don't care about sports. Get off my server. Oh wait, this is our all anyway, so they would probably show me regardless. What's going on? This is one of my favorite new memes. Is Lisa standing in front of this fucking thing like she preaching. I need that meme. I need this new Lisa meme. Okay. Lisa meme speech. What is that? Lisa Simpson's presentation. Yeah, I'm gonna need that template, my dude. Thank you, please. I don't need to save it. I just need to... oh boy. Well, I know you guys have very important Sonic the Hedgehog porn to go, you know, enjoy. I want to thank you all for being here and thank you for being you. I want to hope that, you know, some of the terrible things that we've seen tonight doesn't get awful. And, yeah, let's hope Sony gets off their ass and just allows this crossplay so we can all have the time of our life in this hilarious Fortnite mode, man. Did you guys see that little rocket event that cracked the sky open? That was pretty insane. Also, I think somebody took advantage of that rocket event by destroying the bridge that people were viewing it on and got like the highest solo kill record now, which is a problem. But well, I'm not out here trying to break it. Yeah, people are retarded trying to break stupid ass records like that. So, what we're gonna do? Look at this pretty fish. I wanted to show everybody. Forgot. Look at this pretty fish. It's a really pretty fish. Let me try and shrink that. Look how pretty this fish is. Not crazy? That's crazy as hell, right? I think it's called the cutlass fish. But just look how shiny it is. You know? Linda says, what happened to the tip jar? The tip jar is the type of thing where if I mention it 3 times, it just appears. Did I say it twice or 3 times? Tip jar. Wow. There it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's all over the place. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so explosive. Man, they are just coming in. Okay, there's the, oh boy. Okay, well, it's like a game of solitaire for you guys old enough to know what that was on the computer. Remember? Remember solitaire? Oh boy, here comes Chuckster with his lady with a wrench cheers. Oh my god. One of them bounced out. Two of them bounced out. Oh, three of them bounced out. Not bad. Oh, Prelude's coming with more. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, wow. You guys must be playing like Germany right now. Haha, sports reference. Because Germany lost in football versus some Asians, I think. That's not how you should refer to them colloquially, Kyle. That's not cute. They're so not cute. No, you can't watch other people's YouTube videos on your stream. That would be ridiculous. I like watching Pretty Good Gaming, even though they're the cancer of the gaming news, because they don't have their shit together. I watch their channel sometimes and feel like, you know, man, if somebody were willing to write me a script, then I could do gaming news, because they are just so lacking in charisma, but they don't seem to care, and people watch it. Wow. Oh my, no, you're gonna do it more. Yeah. Prelude, no, you can near. Prelude, near, all of them fall out. Jesus Christ, that thing's overflowing now, thanks to Vanessa. A special thanks to Prelude, to Chuckster, to Linda, to Gomi, and to the wonderful and incredible Queen Vanessa for her daily contribution to the Kyle effort. She's single-handedly keeping me alive, putting me through college. And as this song cranks up, I'm reminded that Vanessa, wow, look at the doggies now. Come on, those doggies have no home now because it's so overflowing. The poor doggies. Damn. Damn, look at that fucking cup. Bruh, the cup has no more. The cup has no more room, guys. There's no more room in the cup. Well, guys, oh god, am I moving the wrong thing? I think I was moving the wrong thing just now. Uh-oh. Move that back to where it was. Now lock that. Temperature. Shrink that. Bring it back down. Alright, guys. Reminded me of the fact that you'll be seeing some creepy stuff from Vanessa that she specifically requested. So if you hate it, you know, take it up with her. I'm sure you guys might like it though. Guys, I love you. And if there's anything you need from me, let me know. And Vanessa, you're the stream boss again. So I feel like you should choose a new GIF. Let me know what that is in the Bing Bong chat, the Discord, and then we'll go from there. Thank you all for being here. Maybe we'll do a gaming stream later. Right now I need to sort out my life and try to figure out what the hell's going on. Love you, stay amazing, and I may jump on the treadmill. Bye.